Hi all, welcome back to my channel. So today video is all about dictionary. How do we utilize them in UiPath? What are the advantages of using dictionary? And all the possible things that we can perform using dictionary. So one of my subscriber has really laid down all these scenarios really well about dictionary and all the doubts he had. So I'm going to take all of these up one by one. And I hope that helps you in understanding the concept of dictionary. So when we come to dictionary, it's nothing but a key value pair, which actually makes the data accessing and retrieval easy because we then search it via key and we get the value of it. Something similar hash table also does, but then there's a difference between hash table and dictionary. The main difference that the namespace in which they lie is different. Then obviously the retrieval via dictionary is comparatively faster as compared to hash table. And also if we're searching for a key which does not exist in the dictionary, it would throw an error. We would see it. It would throw an error that the given key is not present in the dictionary. Usually we even get this error when we're dealing it with config. We're trying to access a key which is not present in the configuration file that we've created. We usually get this error in our program as well, that the given key is not present in the dictionary. Whereas if we go with hash table and we're searching for a key which is not present, we do not get any such error. Instead, it would just return us a null value, which states that the key that we're looking for in the hash table does not actually exist. So these are few of the differences between hash table and dictionary. So as of now, the video would be concentrated towards dictionary. So let's get started. So the first question that Kashif has asked is, how do we create a dictionary wherein the value does not have only one type, say for not just string or number, rather it contains an array which can have different data types. Also, another major difference between hash table and dictionary is hash table can store generic data type, wherein you need not to mention whether it's a string or it's an integer or it's a date. Whereas if we come to dictionary, it stores data of specific data type only, which means we need to mention what data type we're going to store in the dictionary. So as for this case, if we need to store ABC 5478 and the date, and we are creating an array out of it, we need to define that our array is an array of string or an array of integer or an array of date type. And only then we can store. If we want to store generic data type, all of it within an array or within a dictionary, then hash table is the answer. The other way around is we store 5478 also as a string, and we store date also as a string. And then later on, we can convert it into integer or we can convert it into date time to consume it further in our process. So we would rather this time go with an array of string. So let's create a dictionary of array type. We go to browse for types. If we search a dictionary, the basic dictionary that we have always heard of is a key value pair sort of thing. We go with key as an integer and pair as a string. Let's first go with this. Now suppose we have this. Now we can do this thing that we allocate some memory to it. So we do new dictionary, and over here we do of integer because the key is integer. And the other thing that we have is a string. So this is what we've done. Now, when we go on allocating something to it, we call an invoke method. We cannot do that with assign because if we actually add something into the dictionary, it is not going to produce any value. And if we directly use assign activity, it's going to throw an error that this expression does not actually produce any output. So we would rather go on with this thing, the invoke method, because then this, even if it does not produce any value, it would work. So we would go on with invoke method. So how do we add something to our dictionary using invoke method? Let's just see it. So our target object would obviously be our dictionary, and our method would be add because we're going to add something to our dictionary. And in parameters, we're going to type in the key, which is obviously of the type integer. So we say, okay, the key is this and our value is unknown. So we have added something to our dictionary. Similarly, if we want to add something, another entry to our dictionary, so it would be 2, and then we say Mukesh. So we have added 2 entries to our dictionary. Now, when it comes to iterating over the dictionary to get all the items that we have, we're going to drag the for each loop. Now we have a dictionary of type integer comma string, and we need to iterate over it. So this is our dictionary to which we have to iterate over. And for that, we have to select the type argument as, so for dictionary, we have selected system.collections.generic. Then we go on to selecting the dictionary. So over here, we are going to select a key value pair. While we are iterating, it becomes a key value pair. So it's of the type same, whatever the type is of dictionary. So it's integer comma string. So we're going to select that. Once we've selected it, we're going to drag the right line. So let's drag two right line to, make the output look simpler. So first we're going to print the key, which is item dot key. Now, since it is an integer, we're going to convert it to string using dot to string. Similarly, we're going to print the value as item dot value, and yeah, we're good to go. Now that when we run it, so the first value we have is keys 1, values and more. The other is keys 2, value is Mukesh. So this is how we have added the values to the dictionary, and then we have iterated over it. Now, what if we do not want to go with this? Okay, the other thing that I want to show you is that if we remove it, now we have added it. Okay, let's keep it this way only. So now we have added two values. Now we're going to remove one of the values. So it's very simple. For removing, we just need to pass the key, and the pair is not required. So you'll get an error because obviously you have provided more methods than it's required. So now we're going to delete the value that is at 2, which is we're going to delete Mukesh, and whatever would be remaining in the dictionary would be just 1, and the value would be unmoved. And now when we print this, we're not going to get two values, rather we're going to get only one value. So let's run it and see. So now if you see, there are only one value present, the other value has been deleted. Okay, so let's delete all of it now. Now coming to Kashif's question, that what if we want to add an array as well? So if we want to add an array as well, and we go to dictionary, the generic type, we will select the key to be an integer, but this time we're going to select the value to be an array of strings this way, and we click on OK. Now, if you want to add something to this particular dictionary, we're going to modify the parameter. This time we're going to add an array of strings. So we'll say, okay, the name, then we're going to add the age, and then we can add, say, some interest, say content creating, something like that. Or you can say blogging to make it crisp. Okay, so now we have added an array of strings. We need to even modify the parameter over here, which is an array of string. So we have added it. Along with that, we even need to modify it over here, that it's an array of string. And that's it, we're good to go. Now that we've added something again to our dictionary, and now we want to print it. So that was also one of the questions, that how do we now access, how can we return an item from an item of array from a dictionary? Now that we've added something, we want to, even return it. So how can we do that? That is also very simple. Let's check how can we do that. So we're going to drag a right line. Okay, first let's check if it actually exists or not. So that is also one of the questions that Kashif asked, that how can we modify and then how can we return an item? So for modifying, you first need to check whether that particular key actually exists in the dictionary or it does not exist. So we have our dictionary. So to check that whether it actually, it contains that particular key or not. So we have contains key method, wherein we're going to pass that, okay, key 1 is existing or it's actually not existing. And we also check that what is this method going to return us. So if you just hover over it, you'll get that it returns a Boolean value. So if we check, okay, key 1 exists or it does not exist. If it exists, then we're going to modify it. So what are we going to modify is, in dict array, we're gonna add So now when we add, we're going to add it in key. We're going to pass the key as integer. Okay. And here we go. So suppose we want to now update this 25. Okay. So which is actually the value. Okay. So we're going to say that, okay, if it exists, then we have added the key. Now we have to pass in the value as integer. So we say 0, 1. And instead of that, we're going to add a value and we say 27. We get an error here because I must be missing out something. Okay. I think it needs to be done like this. This way probably. Yeah, let's check it out now if it actually works or not. Okay, so I'm going to run it in the debug mode so that we actually see the output in the output pane as well. So we have added it. Now, if we open our dictionary, we see, okay, we have key as 1 and we have value as this. Now, if it exists or not, because key 1 exists, it has looped it into the then part. And now if we check this thing, 25 has been updated to 27. So how have I done this 1, 1? So 1 is actually the key. And then 1 is actually the index of the array because I wanted to update the 25th. That is the second element of the array. If I want to update not the second element, but the third element, which means the blocking would now be replaced by 27. That can also be done easily. I'm going to drag a right line here to actually print it. And so I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to put a .to string so that we actually see the output as well. And then I'm going to run it. Okay, so index was outside the bounds of the array. Okay, my bad. Okay, so because there are only 3 elements in the array, it has to be 0, 1, and 2 because the index of the array starts from 2. Similarly, I need to make the change over here as well, which I missed it, but no worries. If we open the locals pane, we see that the blogging has been updated with 27. So that's how you actually update it. The other question that Kashif had is, how can we modify? We've covered it. How can we modify? How can we return an item? We've covered it. How can we loop in? That also we have covered. Then comes, how can we use dictionary within dictionary? Okay, so let me first just fix this. This would be 2. Okay. Okay, so dictionary within dictionary is also not a big deal. Now, when you go to browse for types and over here, when you actually select dictionary, so over here, if you've selected integer, over here, you still have an option to again select a dictionary. So depending on the scenario, so over here, again, you can have an integer and a string based dictionary. So that's how you'll use dictionary within dictionary. The other thing, maybe I am a bit confused because he has even here copied the already existing dictionary to another dictionary. So that is even possible. Now, suppose you want to copy another dictionary to some other dictionary. Now, suppose I create a copy dictionary array, and based on some condition, I want to just copy the previous dictionary completely to this particular dictionary. So that is even feasible. So I'm going to select the same type, and there is just a simple method for it. I'm going to drag and assign activity. And I'll say, okay, the copy dictionary has to be nothing but new dictionary. I'll just copy this thing, the type. Once I've copied the type, all I have to do is I'm going to pass the source dictionary here. So which is our dict. This is our previous dictionary. Now suppose here I'm going to copy this to add one more entry to my dictionary, and it would be say Mukesh, the age being 27, and this being traveling. And key, I'll change it to 2. And now I say that, okay, if my previous dictionary contains a key, or you can even check the value as well. It's not necessary for you just to check the key. And if I say, okay, if it contains the value this, Okay, so it's a dimensional array. So for this to check, we need to pass in the index of the array as well. So let's go with this only, that if it contains the key 2, and if it is true, then copy it to the other dictionary. If it does not contain, then just print a message box saying key 2 doesn't exist, something of this sort. Now, just to check that whether actually our dictionary has been copied or not, let's iterate over it. So we're going to drag a for each over here inside this, and it has to be the key value pair sort of thing. Okay. And we say, okay, copy dict array, but this time it doesn't have to be integer comma string, rather it has to be integer comma array of strings. So this thing. Now that we've copied it, we're going to print the right line and we'll say, okay, item dot key dot to string. So if it has actually been copied, it should show 2 strings present here. Okay. And we can even print in the value. So we say item dot value, value being an array of string, we say, okay, just print in the name. Okay. So here we go. So how will the flow go? It's going to add the value to our dictionary. If it contains the key, which in our case it contains the key, it's going to copy the dictionary to another dictionary. And then we're going to iterate towards the new dictionary that has been copied and print in the values. Then we say, okay, if the previous dictionary contains 1, then we change it, we remove it, that's okay. Let's just run it to check the values. Let's even add something here, say new dictionary, so that we can actually figure out whether this is the output that we're looking at or not. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, so if I open the output pane now, so you see it has been copied and we've printed this thing, the updated from the new dictionary. So that's how you can use copy another dictionary. That's how you iterate towards array of dictionary. And I hope that answers all the 5 scenarios that has been mentioned, and you get a clear, fair idea about how to use dictionary in your program. In the same way, we even use config. So config, when we use configuration files in our UiPath programs and processes, it's nothing but a key value pair, wherein we update the values and wherein we access the value stored from an Excel, store it in a dictionary. So that's how dictionary operates. So yeah, that's all. If you have any other queries related to dictionary or related to this video, or have missed any scenarios, just comment in the comment section below and I'll take it up in the upcoming video. Thanks for watching the video, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Happy learning and happy weekend.